Welcome to the MCTV News Biweekly Update. I'm Brittany Jelinski.
And I'm Katie Johnston. We've got a lot to cover tonight, so let's get right down to our first story. There's been a twist in the Trayvon Martin case. Attorneys for George Zimmerman say that they have no idea where he is and can no longer represent him. Sandra Endro brings us the latest from Sanford, Florida.
George Zimmerman say they've lost contact with the volunteer neighborhood watchman who shot and killed Trayvon Martin in February. Zimmerman says it was self-defense and has not been charged.
He's gone on his own. I'm not sure what he's doing or who he's talking to.
Unable to reach their client, the legal team says they can no longer represent him and are concerned for his well-being.
To handle it this way suggests that he may not be in complete control of what's going on.
What they find particularly worrisome is that Zimmerman reportedly reached out to the special prosecutor's office investigating the case.
One of the things every defense attorney tells his client is don't talk to the prosecutors, don't talk to the cops, frankly, don't talk to anybody.
The pair maintain they believe Zimmerman is innocent and say they will take him back if he reaches out. Martin's parents say their son was killed because he was black and have led a crusade calling for Zimmerman's arrest.
It's very difficult. We do a lot of praying. We read our Bible every night. And it's just, we just keep pushing forward because we're just fighting for Trayvon.
Still in hiding more than a month after the shooting, Zimmerman has established a website asking for donations to his legal fund. He says his life was changed by the event, and he's had to leave his home, school, employer, and family. Tuesday, the special prosecutor assigned to the case said the investigation is still very much ongoing, and she has not yet determined whether or not to bring charges against Zimmerman. In Sanford, Florida, I'm Sandra Endo.
You do not have to go all the way to Florida this year to feel some heat. March was one for the record books, reaching temperatures that exceeded those set over a century ago. Over 15,000 records were broken across the United States this March. The average temperature for the month was 51.1 degrees Fahrenheit, a full 15 degrees warmer than the coldest March on record. According to weather specialist Jake Crouch, the Arctic pattern was a complete flip, and that kept cold air farther north than normal in winter. This allowed warmer temperatures in from the Gulf of Mexico. So what is causing this turmoil? There are many possibilities, but it is hard to pinpoint one particular one. Indeed, for the entire globe, neither March nor the first quarter are likely to set records. Final data is not out yet, but January-February global temperatures were the 20th warmest according to NOAA. Will this be the first of a greater warming trend? NOAA analysts do not exactly know yet, but are working forward to assigning value to how impactful greenhouse gases might be. It may be years before we have an exact number, but do not be surprised if our winters continue on this warming trend.
Wow. I mean, I love the Marist Beach as much as the next person, but it's kind of scary having weather like that in March.
I know, it's a little shocking that we didn't get as much snow as we have usually gotten.
But I mean, can't complain, I guess.
I know. Who hates the warm weather?
Yeah, truth. With the rising temperature comes a rise in Taliban attacks. Could the two be related? Recent suicide attacks on government facilities in western and southern Afghanistan have killed at least 18 people and wounded 27 others. Mohammed Jamjoom reports.
The Taliban claimed responsibility Tuesday for two suicide attacks on government facilities in Afghanistan that killed at least 18 people and wounded 27 others. The first attack took place in the Guzara district of western Herat province outside the police district administrator's office. According to the provincial police chief there, the bombers detonated their explosives when security forces wouldn't let them through. The blast killed 14 people, including 3 police officers, and wounded 22 others. In southern Helmand province, a trio of suicide bombers attacked the office of the police chief of Musa Qala district. According to a spokesman for Helmand's governor, 2 of the bombers were able to blow themselves up, the third was killed by police. The attack in Helmand killed 4 police officers and wounded 5, including the police chief there. The uptick in violence isn't particularly surprising given that the weather has warmed up substantially in the past week. The harsh winters in Afghanistan make it quite difficult for insurgents to move around the country, plan and carry out their attacks. This is the time of year when the Taliban traditionally begin their spring offensive. Mohammed Jamjoom, CNN, Kabul.
In more lighthearted international news, a peculiar Easter egg hunt in England was the cause of a big disturbance this holiday weekend. Easter egg hunts are a traditional way for families to have a good time with their children during the Easter holiday. But one peculiar egg hunt has caused quite a scare. On Saturday, a 3-year-old boy in England found a live hand grenade during an Easter egg hunt. According to local reports, more than 24 preschoolers had just finished searching for eggs in a field near the town of Halford, Somerset, when one dad spotted a boy standing on something. The parents were shocked to discover that the object was not an Easter egg, but a hand grenade. Parent Stuart Moffat, who was at the egg hunt with his wife and 3 children, quickly alerted organizers from the preschool group and local police of the threat. An Army Bob squad soon arrived. The squad closed off the area and a nearby road before detonating the device at the scene. The highway was reopened hours later, and thankfully no one was hurt during the incident. The hand grenade is believed to be left over from World War II.
That is insane. Oh my God. Can you imagine being one of the parents of the kids that found that?
If I was a parent, not only would I be freaking out that my child had found a hand grenade, but the fact that they found a hand grenade from World War II.
That's still there.
Yeah, it's still intact. They had to detonate it and everything.
Wow.
It's amazing.
I can't even imagine. This past Easter, like most, saw a lot of traveling. In the coming months, this may be a harder holiday tradition. Despite high prices at the pump, several U.S. oil refineries that make and sell gas are going broke. Oil companies say that the refineries are old and cannot produce the cheaper and heavier oils made popular by suppliers in other countries. They say about 50% of the refining capacity on the East Coast are either closed or preparing to shut down in the coming months. And that may mean even higher fuel prices for drivers later this year if shortages develop.
Gotta say, I've never been happier to not have a car on campus.
Same here. I can't afford to pay those prices right now, not with tuition and study abroad and everything.
I don't think anybody can.
Yeah, seriously.
The oil refinery news is not the only shocking news we have for you tonight. The Republican presidential field is a little smaller. Rick Santorum is dropping out of the race and giving Matt Romney his support. Elizabeth Corden reports on these developments.
The campaign trail is ending for Rick Santorum. He announced Tuesday he's suspending his presidential campaign.
We're going to continue to fight for the Americans who stood up and gave us that air under our wings that allowed us to accomplish things that no political expert would have ever expected.
Throughout the primary season, there were some wins, some losses, and some big upsets for Santorum, including a surprise win at the Iowa caucuses.
Miracle after miracle, this race was as improbable as any race that you will ever see for president.
Despite those improbable moments, Santorum's one-time double-digit lead in the polls started slipping, and the numbers no longer added up in his favor. But his decision to suspend is not entirely based on the delegate count. His daughter Bella, born with a serious chromosomal condition, has been hospitalized twice since Santorum launched his campaign. Santorum called Mitt Romney to offer his help.
He will continue to have a major role in the Republican Party, and I look forward to his work in helping assure victories for Republicans across the country in November. We got to get that job done.
Tuesday's developments all but guarantee a Romney-Barack Obama showdown come November. But Newt Gingrich says the race is not over.
Obviously, we'd like to get his delegates, and frankly, on values and on conservatism, I'm much closer to Senator Santorum's delegates than Governor Romney is.
Ron Paul continues to say that he is the only true conservative in the race. I'm Elizabeth Corden reporting.
It'll definitely be interesting to see how this race pans out.
No, I definitely think this is going to be a very exciting election.
You can tell. In other national news, Facebook is spending $1 billion to buy the photo-sharing company Instagram in a deal that is expected to close this June. Seems like a large chunk of change? Well, not really. Instagram lets people share photos they snap with their Androids or iPhones. The app has filters to allow users to add more creativity to their photos, making them look like they were taken in the 1970s or with a Polaroid camera. In just over a year, Instagram attracted a user base of about 30 million people, and Apple picked it up as the iPhone app of the year in 2011. With Facebook preparing public stock that could value the company at $100 billion, $1 billion seems like a drop in the bucket. While this is the largest purchase by the popular social networking site, Facebook representatives say that they plan to run Instagram separately while integrating some of their own technology to make sharing easier.
I'm really excited about this deal because, I mean, I love Instagram photos.
Yeah, I think they came out so good. I'm excited to see what Facebook changes it or...
Yeah, they'll probably change it like 30 times.
And everyone will be complaining, but we'll see how that goes.
In other technological news, sales for popular tablet computer are expected to nearly double this year, according to the report by the technology research firm Gartner Incorporated. The research group projects that about 119 million tablets will be purchased this year. Apple's iPad still rules, but it will face growing competition from the Google Android tablets and new gadgets that offer Microsoft Windows 8 software.
Still feel like Apple's going to stay on top of the tablet market. I don't know. I haven't heard much about Motorola.
Yeah, Apple products seem to be taking over, but I think it's going to be interesting if there is some competition.
Yeah, especially with like the Kindle, the whole Fire tablet. I don't know. Maybe that'll take off. Who knows? Looking for a way to afford a tablet? You may want to research fields that are growing and offering well-paying jobs. STEM careers, those that focus on science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, require special skills and training, and professionals are now in high demand and will be in the future. In the new edition of his book, 150 Best Jobs for Your Skills, Lauren Shatkin, PhD, says that STEM careers include work that discover, collect, and analyze information about the natural world. They apply scientific research findings to problems in medicine, the life sciences, human behavior, and the natural sciences, imagine and manipulate quantitative data, and apply technology to manufacturing, transportation, and other economic activities. So which STEMs are growing fast? Anything from health specialties with teachers with annual earnings of roughly $85,000 to computer network architects, civil engineers, medical scientists, or environmental engineers with annual earnings ranging from nearly $80,000 to $75,000. These fields have rapid openings and are something to consider for your future.
Wow, I mean, all of those jobs seem really incredible.
If I knew that all these jobs had such great opportunities, maybe I wouldn't have been a news anchor.
I don't even know if I could handle all that science.
I definitely couldn't. But, well, that pretty much sums it up for this week. I'm Katie Johnston.
And I'm Brittany Jelinski. Thanks for stopping by.